Please welcome a young player whose composure has been phenomenal for a fortnight. After 5 frames in a row from 9-8 down, he's 4 away from the ultimate match, bidding to become only the 9th qualifier and the 6th Welshman to contest a world final. Always calm, always composed. Here comes the silent assassin, Jack Jones. And his opponent, what a century with which to finish the session at lunchtime. This break-building giant is back to his best and bidding to become a multiple world finalist. Champion 9 years ago today. Raise the roof. Here he comes. The pride of Essex, Stuart Ball Run Bingham.
One table setup is good. Going to the final is great. The final session to determine the man that will face Kyron Wilson at the beginning of tomorrow's final. It's time to find out, so we can hand to our commentary team for this one, for the very first time this evening, of Neal Foulds and Phil Studd.
The moment of truth for Stuart Bingham and for Jack Jones. Bingham looking to feature in his 2nd final, looking to become a multiple world champion. For Jack Jones, a chance to play
away now, please.
in the world final for the first time. He's forged a 13-10 lead, thoroughly deservedly. Bingham was out of sorts earlier, but crucially won the last frame of the session with a century. And needs more of the same if he's to overturn this deficit this evening. There's still some way to go, though. Jack Jones still 4 frames away from the final, and that must feel like a long way, but we've spoken throughout this tournament about his rock-solid temperament, his tenacity. Seemingly impervious to setbacks, he just gets on with his job, and although he can play better than he has, the fact that he's 13-10 up against a former world champion on his debut semi-final at the Crucible without playing his best speaks volumes. It's going to be a fascinating session, Neal.
It is. And, of course, the problem is, you know, he at 13-10 up, people are saying that he might well be in the final, but it's a kind of an odd lead, really. The afternoon session wasn't complete. He's still got to win another 4, as we're saying, so he kind of isn't over the line at all. And he's got to finish the job off as if starting afresh tonight. Of course, it's better to be in front by this score, but the expectation that goes with it is something he'll have to deal with. But he appears to be able to deal with whatever is thrown at him, quite honestly. He's been he was good last year, but he's been even better this season at the World Championships.
Managed to put together 5 frames in a row earlier, having lost the first of the 3rd session, and was actually in first in the final frame of the session, and 14-9 lead really would have taken a lot of retrieving for Bingham, but crucially, when he got his opportunity, he was able to take it. He took it in style, but between the 10th frame and that 23rd frame, he didn't make a 50 break, and that's where his problems have laid in this match, really. His inability to score significantly when getting in often enough. But this is a different session. He's had time to regroup, maybe a bit of rest, and we know he's got the pedigree to turn this around. Overall pot success shows you that stats can be misleading. Jones, on the face of it, with pretty mediocre 83%, but here he is 4 frames from the final. As was mentioned in the studio, Bingham has actually outscored him, although a lot of the frames that Bingham has won, he's won by a wide margin.
Touching ball, this red.
Jones has made more breaks overall, even though, of course, he's not made a century like Bingham has on 2 occasions. 72 remains his best for this match.
Yeah, I think it's because Stuart has won 4 of the frames that he's picked up to nil. And that's not happened once as far as Jack Jones. That's why there's that slight anomaly on the numbers, I think.
Foul and a miss. Jack Jones, 4.
It's not the first time Bingham's done that. Down that right side, he's hit a few either too thin in contact or he's missed them. He is trying to catch the thinnest of edges, and the brown is, as you saw at the time, in the way a little, hampering him.
Is that fine? Jack? Back here. Yeah, it's good. No? No? No problem, you can check. Just making sure.
Just double checking the position of the cue ball.
Looks like that on the picture, yeah? Thanks, Rob. We can move it still this way if you like. No problem.
Yes, he's moving it further on top of the brown, so clearly it's not helping him where he's been putting it. Got it the second time.
Quality of Jones' safety throughout this match has been extremely high, even when he's not been scoring particularly heavily. He's more than competed with Bingham in the safety stakes, and he's been more clinical in taking his chances. He's fed off Bingham's mistakes, particularly in the earlier session. Bingham missed a couple of blacks off their spots. He missed that pink where he left it well short of the pocket. Kyron Wilson's 17-11 victory earlier over Dave Gilbert has confirmed that John Higgins will retain his top 16 place, which he's held since he made his debut here way back in 1995. Gilbert will finish the season in 21st spot, but that's obviously serious progress after a couple of disappointing seasons for him.
So that's a mistake. And the first red, it's got to get into a colour. Yeah, I'm pretty sure John Higgins will end up 16 in the world, because the winner of this match will pass him, but he'll still hang on to that spot. Now at 15, but he can't finish 15 because the winner of this goes beyond that.
One.
He's very happy to finish there because he didn't really have much clue. You never know the kind of cannon you're going to get on the other red.
Five. Six.
Well, he really wants to play the green. The yellow that he's right behind looks a bit straight. You might be able to force it down to a red, but there's not a great angle on it. Play with right-hand side screw, which is reverse side. Cuba didn't zip down the table, though. He's on this red with the rest. It's an important first frame, isn't it? I mean, if he gets within two and just keeps Jones on the position he was at a point of this morning's play. Oh dear, that's just the worst imaginable place to finish.
9.
Look at that.
It's touching ball, please declare.
Touching ball. Well, he's playing
No ball.
away. I can't think that you could end up touching ball on the blue very often. Stopped any chance of a break being made.
After his 19th successful shot with the rest out of 19 attempts, that's one area where Bingham has been faultless.
So he's not going to hit the blue here. He's already hit it, basically, because it's touching.
Stuart Bingham, 9.
I suppose that's all he could do, just leave it very much hampered. So he's going to get the spider out or something from underneath the table here. Jack Jones. It's quite an unpleasant shot to be left, isn't it?
Jones looking to join the following list of Welsh greats to have graced a World Championship final here at the Crucible: Reardon, Griffiths, Williams, Mountjoy and Stevens.
Well, you saw that possible roll up to that red, but of course you could go in the back of it. It's no good, this. It's horrible.
Foul.
There was a noise.
Stuart Bingham, 5.
There was a noise of something hitting the blue. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't expect Marcel Eckardt to miss it because he prowls around the table like a hawk. And he sees everything.
It's another slow burn. We're already into the 15th minute of this opening frame. Average frame time in this match, well in excess of 24 minutes. We had an extraordinary frame earlier, which at one stage looked as though it was going to be the quickest frame of the match. Jones having potted frame ball barring snookers around about the 12-minute mark. It actually had another 36, 37 minutes to run with Bingham trying to get the 4 snookers he needed. He got a couple of them, ultimately to no avail.
No, is this a free ball? I think it is. I believe it is. Big call as well. There's all 3 of them in line. It's a little difficult sometimes when the ball that's in the way is so close to the cue ball. Well, he's going to put a ball up here to judge it by, so that's what he's measuring at this stage.
Put it back here. You sure? Thank you.
Well, he's decided to have it put back. So I'm guessing he conceded the free ball there, because he would have taken it if it had been. I think Bingham believed it was one, so the measuring could end. I thought it was close.
Let's have a look for me, please, Jack. Yeah. Sure.
Now the question is here, could he get through to a red full ball?
Yeah.
That is the one thing I'm not certain about. And I saw Marcel looking down the line. Is anything to the below the pink a full ball contact? There are 3 of them. They're all in line.
Synchronised ducking at one stage.
Let's have a look for me, please, again.
I think you can see a bit more of it this time, fractionally.
Say this again. Well, we can check. Yeah, whether there's a difference. Please, Rob.
Not much in it really. It's not so much whether it's behind where it should be. The line is the same. Can he get to that red though? This is the question. Can he hit a red full ball?
A tiny bit more.
It's more about left or right.
No, directly towards me.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks good now on the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
No warning.
Not great for Bingham. This frame already 20 minutes old. Feels like it's hardly begun.
I think this is where Jack Jones is so good. You know, Bingham is a free scoring player. Beaten O'Sullivan in the previous round. He's not really getting a chance to play freely. He's sort of he's almost calling the shots, isn't he, in this match? For a younger player, it's quite unusual to be like that.
Yeah, it always looked wide. He was slightly disturbed by the yellow, which was hampering him to some extent with his cueing, I think. If this does end up being close, it could well be burning the post-midnight oil again. Of course, we had that scenario last year in the epic between Mark Selby and Mark Allen, which was finishing well beyond midnight.
Well, he missed the pot, but it's actually a very well played shot, because if you get close to the pot, the red stays at one end and the cue ball retreats to the other end, so he was quite good.
The impasse continues. Who's going to get the first really good chance to put a break together? Jones looking to restore his 4-frame advantage, get himself within 3. I'm sure Bingham would love to wrest the initiative in this game, play it on his terms. He's much the heavier scorer, of course. He's made 585 career centuries, including his 53rd one here at the Crucible at the end of the previous session. Much easier said than done, though, particularly when there's so much at stake. But there's an error from Jones, catching the black and missing the long-range red.
Yeah, and it's hitting the black, giving a proper chance to Bingham.
1. Seven. Eight. Thirteen.
Well, that wasn't where he meant to finish, was it? He didn't play down that low, because now the red he's playing, it should be a little easier than the one he's faced with. Sort of soft screwing it up the table, and the potting hand can't be taken for granted.
14. Sixteen.
Bingham taking his time to construct this break. A fast start from him this
17.
evening, vital. Can ill afford to allow that 3-frame deficit to increase.
Twenty-three.
Jones took on the long red, caught the black on the way back.
24.
Yeah, Bingham was very patient, wasn't he? He waited a long time, took his time over shots, and when the chances arrived, here he is, trying to capitalise. You know, there was no suggestion that at 13-10 and a weary-looking Stuart Bingham at the end of this afternoon that he wasn't going to do anything but continue to try his best, rest up, come back again tonight. I think a deficit of 3 frames, 13-10, an incomplete session. You're not beaten, are you? You're not miles behind. You're in a bit of trouble, but he knows in his heart that he can still get this match won. He wants to get it close again, get right back in there.
30.
See what Jones is made of when there are no more sessions after tonight. This is where one of these two will be in a world final.
31.
He didn't play on the blue into the yellow pocket, but that's what he's playing. That's what he's faced with. Oh dear. Well, he stretched on that.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it.
Some movement.
Stuart Bingham, 31. Guys, you've got to sit still when you're on the island of the player, please. Mandatory.
Marcel Eckardt just reminding a member of the audience that you've got to stay still, but there was no real fluency in that visit from Bingham, was there? There was a lot of deliberation on the shots, and of course, traditionally, he is a rhythm player. He's one of the best break builders we've ever seen in the game. Maybe he needs to up the tempo if he's to turn this match his way.
What he didn't do is get on a red. So it would have been just 5 points, I think, had the ball gone in. I didn't see any movement. I'm sure Bingham clearly is not making it up, but I didn't notice much. I think there's a couple of gentlemen in the front row who've got something of a ticking off, but you know, they've already been in there half an hour. People are going to move a little bit, aren't they?
What a great safety. Another chance for Bingham. It's been a theme of this match, really. Bingham getting a chance and not making enough from it. And more often than not, Jack Jones has stepped in to punish him when that's happened. Can he do so here? 49 behind, but still 75 on the table.
One.
Plenty to ponder for the former world champion, who of course has been out of form for a couple of seasons now. Just one quarter-final this season. Oh, but Jones misses the opportunity this time to punish and get himself back in the frame. This is an incredibly edgy start to the final session, and there's an awful long way to the winning line yet.
It's one of those shots where you've got to pot it off the far jaw, I think, to get the cannon, and you don't really nick a bit of the pocket from shots to the middle pocket, certainly not from that angle to middle. I think he's got out of it. It's a bit of a sticky old frame, this one, because any mistakes seem to have gone unpunished. I mean, Bingham really would have been hoping to come to the table with a chance to put this frame away now after the error on the pink, but all he can do is play safe. Giving some of these shots a lot of thought, isn't he? A real lot.
Struck it perfectly, and they have to be perfect if they're to drop along that rail. I saw him pot a black, not dissimilar to that, this afternoon, and Jack Jones with a rather rueful expression. He's not too far away now, Stuart Bingham, 49 in front. Just 4 reds left, so he's only going to need one more red off his next colour to finally get this frame on the board.
Stuart Bingham. 1.
Well, that's unfriendly.
I suppose he's got this far, hasn't he, with this game plan. And he got a snooker all right, goodness. And the 4 reds are not near cushions, so the frame's taken some winning, but it could be that Bingham is on the brink of winning it because he's playing a red in the middle of the table here. It'd be called a miss if he doesn't hit one. Whether a miss is taken, I don't know. I suspect yes.
Following a miss. Stuart Bingham 4.
I think I'll be having this back. Just the nature of the shot he's playing, and also the lead is growing. 53 points. He's basically taken a 1 cushion swing at the right-hand red, the bottom red from that angle. Even if he hits it, he might leave it. If he doesn't, it's being put back until the point in which he'll need snookers, and it won't be anymore. Called a miss.
Sure. Thanks.
Good hit, but Bingham's just looking for 1 red here. And they'll have closed the gap, which is the primary goal. It's not been entirely convincing, but it's all about staying in contention and hoping that he can rediscover the form that did for O'Sullivan.
1. Eight.
3 snookers required for Jones already, so if this goes in, surely frame over. And it has. So Bingham has done what he needed to do in the first of the evening. It's not been pretty, it's been lengthy, nearly 38 minutes. But he's won it.
$16. 17. Thanks.
I mean, with Stuart Bingham, you know, obviously he's pleased to be in this World Championship semi-final, as is Jack, but Bingham probably never thought he'd be here again. He seemed emotional, didn't he, at the thought of it? So he's going to have to be scraped off the table. And who can blame him? These
24.
moments don't always come around. So he's not leaving anything out there. Frame's over.
24 in a frame.
It took the best part of 40 minutes, but crucially, Stuart Bingham has won it. He's back within 2. Jones leads 13-11.
Jack Jones to break.
Frame 25. With a possible 33. well down in the Century Stakes this year. Much debate, of course, throughout this championship about how challenging the tables have been, certainly in the early rounds. It was only a couple of years ago we had a record-breaking 109 centuries for the tournament. Nicely done. Bingham's overall long pot success is disappointing. He's only getting just over 1 in 3, but that was a clean hit.
Very nice. And with the yellow away from its spot, the blue is not the worst shot to go in and out of bulk to get down for a red, although from that left side, there isn't that much room to pot one. The red into the right corner, there aren't many gaps. Possibly spot one. See where the balls finish here.
Six.
Yeah, the reds are a little bit in each other's way, aren't they? I think that one goes, the one that's he's now shaping up for just about.
Seven.
He missed a blue, didn't he, into the yellow pocket like this. Maybe not quite the same. Claimed that he was distracted.
A good pot, but he could have done without the jaw intervening there, taking the cue ball away from the reds.
Stuart Bingham, 12. I'm not sure where it comes from, but you've got to stop with the rappers, please. We can hear it down here. Thank you.
Attempted cross double, which has left the red pretty close to the pocket. There's been a lot of rueful grins from Bingham today. At the moment, it's sort of a case of hanging on in, staying in contention in the hope that that champagne snooker that he produced against O'Sullivan, or at least something akin to it, will reappear. We had a glimpse in the frame at the end of the earlier session with the Century.
One.
I don't think he can pot that without a little bit of the left-hand side, and he's not going to want to take a shot like that on. He's not really getting anywhere tonight, Jack Jones, is he? I know that we've said about Bingham playing slowly, but Bingham at least did pick up that first frame. Jack Jones, he's just not doing anything, actually.
Jack Jones won.
He's playing good safety, but his scoring has just completely disappeared. He'll be patient and hope that'll be turned around, but right now nothing is happening. It must be concerning for him.
Foul and a miss. Jack Jones 4.
Well, the line was decent, but of course, as you saw, not hard enough. It's going back, isn't it, all day long?
Stuart. No problem. Can you see chalk marked it? I can't. No. Yeah.
Well adjusted from Bingham to leave things safe. The last time Jones made a break of substance was the 63 that he constructed him taking a 12-9 lead. Of course, he added the next as well. Bingham has won the last two. He's had 8 breaks of over 50 in this semi-final. His highest break remains 72. Good cue ball from Bingham, keeping the pressure on. Of course, he has the advantage of knowing what it takes to come through a semi-final and then go all the way to the title. For Jones, it's a brand new experience, playing over 4 sessions. He's handled himself very capably thus far. But he too, like Bingham, can play a whole lot better than he has been in this match. It's going to come down to who can raise their game. Bingham's a couple of frames behind, but if he can do that, he's likely to win. He's made 6 centuries at the Crucible in his run to these semi-finals. 2 of them, of course, in this match.
Well, he's looking at those 3 reds. If the 2 reds are touching, it's a reverse plant, so he can straighten it, but it's a tough shot, though. Goodness, it is. Yeah. Wow, what about that? All of a sudden, it's a different ball game, isn't it?
The crowd enjoyed that one. Now, can Bingham strike up some rhythm? Can he get his cue arm going?
That's an amazing shot, actually. I mean, it was well worked. If you watch this shot 10 times, you probably see something different every time that happened, even at the pink and the green hitting each other. But the cue ball slid past that red, and all of a sudden, even Stuart Bingham couldn't keep a straight face. What a turnaround in the frame just because of one shot.
Seven. Thirteen.
That's wide. Would you believe it?
Stuart Bingham. 13.
Would you believe it? He just cannot get anything going in the way of a break. That looked like a gilt-edged chance to put it right. And that chance now falls to Jack Jones, and the pain on Bingham's face palpable.
Well, he's not really had a chance of any absolute substance, Jack Jones, but he's got one now. And it was because of a miss. And, you know, often that is the way. It's not always something you create. Bingham created the chance. And now it's Jack Jones who can take advantage. And it's a big moment. If he happens to be able to restore his lead, I do think his game's gone off a little bit as well. Not only Bingham, who's still thinking about what he missed. I hate to say it, but I did notice he looked at something in the crowd again as if he's distracted.
Should go on.
The problem is, if you're getting distracted all the time, it's often your concentration, not necessarily someone in the crowd. I mean, they're not exactly doing the Mexican wave in here. They're trying their best to respect the players, aren't they?
Seven. Eight.
I noticed he had a quick glance over at the scores, but he's got a lot of work to do for that to be
13.
An issue. I think one of those situations, pot a few balls, a few reds and colours, and maybe think about the scores a little further down the line. Well, this is a telling moment because, you know, he has got to make 40 or 50 here, I think, because he's on the brink of possibly a world final, so he's going to have to score from a chance like this.
14.
Pink will go back on his own spot when potted here. And then maybe up on the pink again.
20. $21. $27. $28.
Still plenty to do for Jones to turn this into a frame-winning break with a couple of awkward reds. Bingham still counting the cost. A little shake of the head again. And that short-range red that he missed to this left corner after the spectacular plant had got him in with the ball spread everywhere.
Well, now he's finished there. I wonder if he would consider the red he's closest to. And it'd be an awkward shot to middle. But it might be the answer, given that the other red, he's got awkward queuing on that same red. So if he pots this one, it gets one out of the way. Missable, this. Tricky little shot. Well done. So he's eking out a little lead here. I don't think he can
41.
stretch across on this. He's got to have to stand at the other end of the table. 21 the lead then. Be about 28 in it after this red colour, assuming he plays on the pink. Be a good frame for Bingham to reclaim. He was in the pole position.
So now the hard work with the remaining reds all needing attention. 22 in front, still 51 on.
Ramble.
I don't understand that shot. Oh yes, he's put the brown safe.
42.
I think he could do with a few more points on the board. And he's refused a pink that he would never miss. He was a mile off. I'll never understand the shot to not pop the pink and put the brown safe, because if you're not careful, the time when they get to the brown, he'd be behind anyway. I think he needed the points. I think he needed to get a red out in playing safe. So I think that was a very premature in putting ball safe. You're not many points in front. It's almost what you're really saying is you're going to make it into a complete dogfight.
Very fortunate as well, having butchered the red, that he didn't leave it for Bingham. Yet another frame that's well into the 20-minute plus mark. This match has ground to a halt at the moment. Both players are struggling. Gasps with one or two members of the crowd wondering if Bingham was going to get a damaging double kiss there. He avoided that. Decent cue ball. 22 behind, 51 still on the table. Now that is a good pop. Right in the centre. Cue ball is running on a bit though.
One.
Well, he might feel he's going to put something else safe. It's a better shot. Again, he just wants to make sure that by the time he gets to these balls he's putting safe, he's too many in front.
Jack Jones. One.
It's clearly a useful lead that Jones has got, given the state of the table, with a couple of colours currently out of commission. whoever does come through this evening, you've got to think that Kyren Wilson will have an advantage, being much the fresher.
Yeah, because I don't think the word fresh is going to be applying to either of these two, is it? You know, I mean, I know that it's gruelling for whoever gets through. Last year, of course, Marcel took a long time to beat Mark Allen. He was still in the building at least 1:30 on the morning of the final itself.
That's the point. It's not just the match itself, it's the media duties that you've got afterwards, looking ahead to the final and all of that malarkey. Plus you've got to come down from that adrenaline high of actually making the final. All of these things are very challenging, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think, you know, Dave Hendon put a stat out, didn't he, that 8 out of the 10 most recent winners played in this last session. That's great, and it's all true. You know, those numbers don't lie, but it can't be an advantage to be here till possibly midnight, can it? In no way can it be in your favour.
Yeah, Kyren has only dropped 26 frames to get to the title match. He's not been seriously threatened. So you've got to think he's got a lot left in the tank. He's only 32, a couple of years older than Jones.
That was always the problem. He was going into the green, although he's put it back onto a different cushion to the one it was on. This is a tough old frame now. Well, it's not a classic, but it's going to be won by someone that's going to take them either closer to winning in the case of Jones, or closer to Jones in the case of Bingham. That's not a good shot either. This is attritional is one word you could use to describe it.
The average frame time for this match now is 25 minutes. This frame has been going in excess of 30. And the nature of the snooker means that neither player has any sort of rhythm or flow at the moment. And of course that makes every pot that much harder. Mistakes more likely. Well, that's a terrific pot from Bingham. And if he could win this frame, given the state of the table, it would be a huge boost and would be a blow to Jones, who has tried to make things as awkward as he can, which of course makes sense, given he's got a modest lead. But it is modest.
I think that's the only problem with Jones. You're right, he's trying to make things as awkward as he can, but there's another way is to try and put together a break. Now, I know that that's obvious, he's trying to do that, but that is going to hurt Bingham more than putting balls safe when you're not that many in front.
Seven.
So Bingham's got the brown out now. It's not the nicest shot to get from blue to yellow, I have to say. Cue ball's fairly close to it off in the bottom left, not quite. Put a little bit of stun on it to widen the angle.
12.
If he can pop this yellow and get in behind the green, he can lay a snooker. He's gone favoured in the frame.
Stuart Bingham's rest play in this match has been extraordinary. He's not missed a single one. That's 23 out of 23.
Well, there's no need to play a snooker now because he's played an absolute blinder there. Is he straight on this? He's mapped out a route from a yellow, which was not an easy pot. In behind the green, if he's straight on the green, it's the perfect shot. I don't think it's quite the angle. If it was straight, he could run through it, it'd be simple. But there's nothing going to be simple in this frame, I get the feeling.
Jones will certainly be concerned now, though. He was looking to shut this frame down. And now, Bingham very much back in contention. Well, goodness, what's happened there?
Bingham, 14.
He played a brilliant shot on the yellow, and he's played the worst shot he's played in the whole championship here.
Yeah, no problem.
That was a diabolical shot, wasn't it? I mean, why on earth didn't he at least pot it? If you're going to play that shot after such a good shot on the yellow, you just can't afford not to get the snooker. It's got to be a certainty. Goodness me, what a thing.
From the sublime to the ridiculous. That's a very tentative shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't a natural to lay him behind there, really.
What a chance for Jones.
Well, I mean, the last couple of shots, I mean, I've not seen two shots so contrasting to the yellow and green. There was a wonderful shot on the yellow and a terrible shot on the green.
7.
It's been another very difficult sort of frame. Jones really not doing anything himself in the way of break building, but once again picking up the pieces after a Stuart Bingham error, and there have been way too many of those today for the former champion's liking. And Jack Jones is back in control of this semi-final. He doesn't bother with the black. Another 36-minute frame. Bingham making a terrible error at the end of it. He trails 14-11. It feels as though he just has to change the tempo of this match. He's got to somehow get in and start showing the rhythm,
Jack Jones 4,
which has been his trademark throughout his career. That is a shot that is a hangover from what happened just now. In off the break.
Yes, you don't see that very often. He caught the red much too thin, clearly, to going off into a vault pocket. Now Jones, I know he won the frame, but I think he could have to be a little bit more adventurous, just a little bit. He didn't win it because of anything he did. He was presented it. Great shot. Unlucky. Unlucky. You always hit those when you're not flowing.
green ball.
The red. So that's a pity because he tried his best to make something happen.
Jack Jones 1.
Needs to find a bit of inspiration, Bingham. It looked as though he had with that brilliant pot with the rest on the yellow at the back end of the previous frame. Only to play one of the worst shots of his career, but that was a great red. He's on the pink. So a chance to exercise the ghosts of what happened just now.
7. Eight.
Oh, they'll plant those 2 reds. The answer must be yes, because he's played behind them. If he can dust himself down after that last frame, he'll do well, Bingham. He'll never stop trying, though, because he is that sort of individual. Screwed it with left-hand reverse side to get the cue ball out of there.
16.
He could have finished better, but I thought he played it quite nicely. Cue ball went forward before it started to swing backwards.
Blue ball. Foul.
Oh, goodness. Never rains, but it
Bingham,
pours.
16.
With a cup
Jack
that
Jones,
thin, you're losing
5.
control of the cue ball.
The cue ball went in before the blue. I was watching the blue, and the cue ball had disappeared when I looked up. It is this cue ball went in first, didn't it? Only by a split second. I wonder if he's thinking it's not going to be his evening.
That's another good pot from long range from Jones, but again,
1.
the cue ball not great. Yeah, very good. So Jones back in, looking to find a bit of scoring form himself. You have to go back to the 21st frame for the last time he made a break.
Yeah, and I think that is going to ultimately count for something, isn't it? Because while he's winning these frames, he's got a 3-frame cushion still. You know, he surely has to start scoring bigger to get the job done. Deserves to be on 1 here. That's a good shot. Very good.
9.
Really good contact with the Reds.
15.
All I can think of is that the last frame has given him renewed hope, not him. Jack Jones might have just taken the wind out of the sails of Stuart Bingham, although it wasn't sort of much more than a gentle breeze in them in the first place because he'd been struggling.
22. Free.
Playing with left-hand side very nicely. Check the
28.
cue ball up and send it closer to the next red. What a chance this is, and this is more like it. This is, you know, a chance to get a frame one in a scoring visit. Just remind his opponent that he is dangerous.
$29.
Oh, he didn't get all that close in behind the next red there. He was kind of looking to see if the left-hand red of the three went. But he obviously didn't plan it on that occasion. And Pink, of course, is protecting the reds in such a way that he'd do very well to hit pot the blue and screw the cue ball onto the pink to move the reds out. If the pink was touching the three reds, he might play the nudge, but it's almost stopping the cannon from being played, and that's extremely accurate. So what next? I think he's playing it. If you hit the pink half board, you don't even move the reds is the problem. They stay where they are. Oh, I tell you what, if he's on the red, that's a very fine shot. That's a good shot, that is. That's a classy shot, because I tell you, that's hard to do what he did. He had to get a full cannon on the pink. Pink hit the reds. Brilliant shot.
More concern for Bingham, and some signs that Jones is raising his game. Buoyed by the way in which he was able to pinch the previous frame when it looked as though he could be in trouble, having controlled it. Really gifted it by Bingham with that
50.
Failed snooker behind the black on the green. But 51. This has been easily Jack Jones' most convincing snooker since the earlier session.
Yeah, and I think he needed this. He needed a frame of this description, this
58.
style. Just making Stuart Bingham know that he's still capable of scoring.
59.
The edge hasn't gone from his game, really. And certainly the determination has never left him.
$65. Jack Jones,
The most convincing snooker of the evening, and it's come from Jack Jones, who is beginning to dream of a World Championship final appearance. He's just 2 away now at 15-11. That's proved so expensive. But that was an excellent break from Jones to put him in complete control. Is he going to get nervous inside of victory? It's a huge occasion for him. There's been precious little to suggest that he will tighten up, but of course, when he starts to think about what he's now close to achieving, that could change. Bingham will certainly hope it does. But at the moment, Bingham's game is on the floor.
Nice pot, but he's lost the cue ball there to the side cushion. This next one is very difficult, especially if he wants to hit it with any pace. You know, swinging around off a couple of cushions. It's okay if he's just dropping it in, even then, still not easy. That's all he could do, drop it in.
$8. $9.
Played that well to give himself a choice of more than one red.
$13. $20.
He'll be very disappointed with the way he's played today, Stuart Bingham. He was flagging towards the end of session 2 and would have been relieved to get out of it at 8-all. Chance to get a good night's sleep, regroup, start afresh, dead level again. Best of 17 frame match from there, but if anything, his game has gone in the wrong direction since. It's got steadily worse, with the exception of that century at the end of the session. That said,
28.
it's gone wrong for Jones because he's horribly hampered on his intended red.
Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible shot for that red. And I don't even know if the cannon on the other red is on. So he's cutting this red back. The cue ball disappearing to the other end of the table. It's not there. Could have made more out of that chance. He was going nicely.
28.
But big numbers scoring is not a thing. Combination of he's tightening up a bit. The pocket's still not. Well, they've certainly not opened up any easier. Why would they? But you know, it's a tough table.
Stuart Bingham.
Well, it's a wholly unpleasant snooker that Jack Jones finds himself in here, because it looks like the green and the cube are almost wedged together down at that bulkhead near the cushion. So Marcel Eckardt is looking at all these different lines. I don't know how he hits this, because he might have to go. Don't think he can go into the bolt cushion, because it's like he's on the bolt cushion. Well, he's playing twice across. This is a nasty business, this. Is he going between the green and brown? Goodness me. As they say, there's only one shot here. Unfortunately, I've got absolutely no idea what it is. Well, that's all very well, but the yellow's in there, isn't it? Can't just ignore the yellow. It's on the table. What a shot. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness me. Well, this replacement might take about a week, I think. Oh, dear.
Gallows humour in the Crucible, goodness me.
Everything's moved.
Poor old Marcel, but he's a professional.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, so much moved. I mean...
Have you identified the reds? May I ask you to settle down a bit so I can understand my marker, please? Thank you.
Just trying to work out which one.
Yeah, no problem. We check our time.
Marcel asking Rob Spencer if he's identified the reds. Well, reds plural for sure. All sorts move there.
Can you get the original?
Just have a look first.
Where to begin?
Please. It's easy to wait outside as well.
I think Marcel should just let the crowd enjoy themselves a bit. They're not doing any harm, are they? Goodness.
Rob, can you get the original?
Yeah, the original, yeah. You want the original first? Right, that's the...
That's how it is now, isn't it? No.
That's how it is now. That's the original.
Yeah.
So is it easier from that? So do it slightly. Okay.
So this red?
That red, yeah. 2 balls towards the pink. Right. Take your hand off it now. So a ball this way, so this diagonally. and a fraction that way.
Yep.
Okay, that one looks okay now. And then the one, let's have a look what we've got now, so bear with me.
It's a laborious process. Of course, officially, this
right here.
So
isn't included in the frame
it's
time.
Probably to do the 3 to start with.
Shall we? Yeah. Shall we
Can you
take
see
them
the
off?
3? Yeah.
Shall we take them actually off? Maybe that's quicker.
That's probably quicker, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the
So
concern here must
start
be
with
that it
them
could happen
3, move
again
them
when
3
they
away.
eventually
so
reset
you've got
these.
one now below the pink, touching the pink. Okay.
Did the pink move? Yeah, did the pink move, didn't it? Yeah. Can you just get where the pink is? So we leave the pink there, yeah?
Pink looks okay to me, yeah, yeah. Right, so let's go back to where we were. Right, okay, and then that one, the next one is half the ball that direction. Yeah? And then the next one is about half a ball down from it in line with the pink.
Just try to keep it quiet, please. Thank you. I've got to understand my marker, please. So these 3 are fine? So...
Yeah, so that looks okay now. Let me move this.
Just give me the original, please, again. Or the...
Right, so that's the original. That's where we were. This is what we've got.
So that's that red over...
Okay.
This red here. That's not here, isn't it?
That red there isn't there. No, that's right. Let's have a look. Let's put the original back again.
Yeah, so I take this
Okay.
one. I take this one.
Yeah, so that one's not there. Okay, so I've got to try and work out where that one is. So that one, we've got the 3 coming down from the pink. It looks like it's about 2 balls down and 3 balls towards you, if that makes sense. Yeah?
Sorry, you lost me there.
Yeah, so the one you've got in your hand now,
Yeah.
you've got 3 down from the pink.
All right, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
can you see it?
I see, okay.
Yeah? If I move it across so it's slightly shaded now. Can you see where it goes? So, okay. Right, and then a ball up towards the pink. Yeah, take your hand off it. Right, that looks good now, that looks okay.
And this one goes...
No, I think that one's good, Mars.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's...
It's the one, it's that one there. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
That one. Let's try and work out where that goes.
Next to the one you just moved.
Okay, so that's it. That's it. So that's a ball towards a ball to the right. That's that way. Half a ball again that way, and then a ball towards me, and a touch that way now.
Okay.
Okay, and that looks pretty good, Mars,
Yeah.
to me. Yeah.
Well played. Never easy.
Well, we didn't speak
Just
over
remain
that
quietly, please.
because
Thank
we thought it was informative. So we just let the process take place.
Just have a look for me, please, here, Jack.
As mentioned, the concern must be that it might happen again.
Well, it could do, couldn't it? And I don't know what happened then.
It's a horrible snooker.
Just have another look, please. Oh, okay, I see. Right.
It took Marcel and Rob 5 minutes to sort that out, which was pretty good going, considering how many balls moved. So can Jones find a red? Can he also lead things safe?
Yeah,
He's
sure.
in a
Thank you.
tight spot in more ways than one here. He had the first chance, of course, and ran out of position. He left himself hampered when he was looking good to potentially seal a 16-11 lead at the interval to put him within one of the final.
Oh, hold on to your hats. He's playing the same shot through the gap between yellow and brown. Oh, goodness, don't do it again, please. Anything but that. Oh, he's hit it.
One of the biggest cheers of the night, and a tap on the table from Stuart Bingham. Relief all round. Jack Jones accepting the applause. That was something akin to Houdini, what he's achieved there. Even so, he has left this red. And this is a frame that Bingham absolutely must win if he's to entertain any thoughts of getting back into this semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, it was a monstrous snooker to be in, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh, it stayed above ground.
Stuart Bingham, 1.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, I don't know what to think now, because I thought this might still drop in, you know, the pace he played. It tried to. Now they've got so many reds that face into that pocket. Now nothing goes in there. So you know, whether we end up with all reds in front of that black in about half an hour's time, it's not impossible, you know, because I don't see what anyone can do but just push reds towards it. That was a good enough shot. So here we are, the match not resolved, but 15-11 with Jack Jones in front. In this frame, you do kind of go right back to a couple of days ago, Thursday, 3-0, Stuart Bingham, 2 reds left on a colour, 37 in front. If he pots the blue, which he hit hard to get on the red, he'd have been 42 in front, but the black was on the cushion, tied up. So really, I don't think that he could actually win the frame, Jack Jones. So he missed the blue. That'd have been 4-0. Now, okay, there's still a long way to go, but isn't that a great start? Jack Jones has proved that he's quite hard to shake off, but he sort of nearly did so very early in the match.
There's presently an air of inevitability about the way this frame is going from here, though. The red's being drawn magnet-like towards that black.
this is why this has taken place, because of that shot. And it did go close. I mean, it was top jaw always, but I put it this way, last year on the tables, that would have gone in. Not that that's any real consolation to Bingham, but it's just a fact.
This frame has already been going 21 minutes. Yet another protracted battle in this match of many.
It's pretty hard to see where this is all going to lead because, well, I think I know actually, but all those reds might end up over the top of the black, and they're. I mean, obviously a 20-point lead for Jack Jones would be. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Well, that's the end of that. Cancel what I was about to say.
Jack Jones 7.
He's left a free ball. Is he or not? Maybe not. What's there? Can he get to anything on the reds?
No free ball.
No, but just a sliver of that red hit. Well, it looked like that could be a very, very long re-rack in the making, didn't it?
Even though the black has disappeared, there's still a long way to go in this frame, given the position of a number of those reds grouped on that side cushion.
Surely he's not going to play this, is he? You'd give the shot to Bingham, wouldn't you? You know, if it's a big swerve, yeah, I think I'd give that to my opponent and say, go on, good luck.
From here, please. Stuart.
Well, it's a good shot, isn't it? Jack Jones let him have it. I don't blame him, to be honest. It was not nice. Red wasn't over the pocket.
Another terrific pot from Bingham. He's got an awful lot of work to do to turn this into something tangible, but you've got to start somewhere.
7.
He's getting plenty of vocal support. This crowd want to see a comeback.
8.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good red.
15.
It's an awkward one, wasn't it, really, for Jack Jones? You know, I was thinking again about that. He obviously can play it, the swerve, or let Bingham play it. Anyway, he's going to try and open the reds here.
16.
It's a good shot. I don't think you'd want to be playing that swerve unless you had to. But Bingham played it delightfully, and now he's still at the table. Could never blame Jack Jones for that decision making. I don't know, did he try and move the red?
23.
Not sure what else he could have been playing on. Maybe he tried to flick that red out from the left-hand red from the cushion. Break over. It's been an extraordinary frame, this, for so many reasons. Crowd were getting excited. Marcel didn't like that, the referee. They got it all done, though, between him and Rob Spencer, in fairness.
Stuart Bingham, 23.
Where these reds are. I mean, there is that shot again to get him behind the green. If he plays twice across, thin off the top red, Bingham. I mean, it's the perfect shot to land there, but there is enough room behind the green. Let's see how close he gets, because it's certainly what he'll be trying. Not quite.
Did it pretty well, just overcut it.
One.
big target. 5 reds all lined up there. Well, there was a gap, I hasten to add, through the middle, and it's the only gap. So he's kind of thought, I know, I'll go right in the middle of the 5, and that's the only place there's a space.
It's been that kind of session.
Stuart Bingham, 8.
31 minutes, very nearly this frame. Over 2 hours in this session, and we're still a long way from resolution in this 4th frame. Oh, that's a good shot from Bingham. An attacking shot to get the reds out in play. Good cue ball.
Yeah, some intent there. And, look, I suppose if he gets this frame one, even though it's almost like a match in itself, this frame, isn't it? It feels. But then if he could, then he's still within 3 as he started the night like that.
Still well short of the longest frame of this match, which was just under 50 minutes, the frame when Bingham was chasing 4 snookers for basically half an hour and change. It's an ugly frame, but it's an absolutely vital one, because if Jones wins it, well, what a chance he'll have to make his first world final. If Bingham can win it, then still 2 away, and there's still some hope for the former champion.
What's he going to do here? I wonder if he might take some reds off the right cushion, and he could get up to a very dangerous part of the table up in that top left corner, isn't it? All kinds of possibilities up there. Not quite got the speed on it, that one. I'm not sure what he was saying, but can't think it was anything sort of about that was very positive. at the moment, because I don't think he's feeling it. Bingham, he's trying his best. He's fighting against the elements. I wonder if this has got a best of 35 frame match tomorrow against Kyren Wilson, who is no doubt resting up.
Well, this is a half chance, right into the centre.
One.
Well, again, I mean, you could play on the right-hand red here. I mean, there must be a slight temptation to go into the 3 reds, but even then, with the brown not available, stopping the reds to be available to the other side. Oh, he's hit the brown. Oh no, that's the worst thing he could have done. He may as well have gone into the big target of the 3 reds now that he's done that. That was a good chance, but the brown was just placed in an awkward spot. He's found it.
Stuart Bingham, 7.
Second prize, getting the cue ball behind the black.
Foul and a miss. Stuart Bingham, 4. Step back here.
Got very close to hitting that one. These are quite important points, aren't they? With a 16-point lead doesn't sound anything really, but it kind of is in this context of this frame, this match. It's a 38-minute frame once again, and we had a 5 minutes that don't count for that with all those balls being replaced. Balls went everywhere. And it was further away than the previous, so these points are starting to mount up now.
Bingham, 4.
Lead of 20 points for Bingham.
Well, there's still some life left in this frame. Yes, Bingham 20 in front, but Jones still very interested if he gets in next. He's laid some fiendish snookers this evening, Stuart Bingham, and there's another one. There's been nothing in the way of a break, but
Try to keep the noise down, please. Thank you.
he's giving it everything in a bid to keep his hopes of a second World Championship title alive.
Well, he's got to be trying to get to the red that's close to the left corner, because any other red he hits just leaves that one, so he must be playing it maybe with a bit of right-hand side. Doesn't want to go straight in off. Well, he had to try and move it, and could be that it's cost him the frame, but I think anything's missable, it seems, at this point.
Well, here's the chance Bingham has been looking for. It was an excellent snooker to set this opportunity up.
One.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know which red he played on. He might have a better shot at the bottom red, and he'll need them both anyway. I wonder if he would just play the low red. He's forcing himself to play the right shot here. Good shot.
So just this brown with the rest, and he's not missed one in the whole match. 25 out of 25. And the final red to breathe some life into his hopes of a place in the final. Where to begin to tell the story of this frame? We
11.
saw that extremely nasty snooker that Bingham laid. Jack Jones hitting a number of reds after catching the pink, which led
12.
to Marcel Eckardt in conflab with Rob Spencer, spending 5 minutes getting them back in the right order. We had the black going over the pocket, which was threatening to close the frame down completely. And even when the black went in, we had reds lined up along the right-hand side of the table. But eventually, Stuart Bingham has done what he absolutely had to do. Clinch the frame.
17.
He shared this session. And Jones is still 2 away.
19.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the frame where he put the brilliant yellow and played the snooker on the green instead of going for it to the middle and just gave the frame away, that was possibly the difference. He'd have been within a frame now.
22.
Look, still chasing a 3-frame deficit as he started and still is.
$26. $31. $37.
Nearly 2.5 hours after the players shook hands, they're finally walking off for the final interval of this semi-final. It's been a gruelling session of snooker. It's been shared, and crucially, Stuart Bingham has won that 4th frame. Jack Jones set 15-12. The final act. Someone has got to get to 17. Who is it going to be? Stuart Bingham has struggled throughout the day, really, and just sheer determination and the degree to which this tournament is so close to his heart. We saw how emotional he got when he was speaking to Rachel about what it would mean to him to win a 2nd World Championship. That's what's kept him in it, because his form has largely deserted him. Jack Jones has also been below his best, but he's kept chipping away, making the most of the errors that have come his way without really threatening to pull away to a convincing victory. So it's still all up for grabs. Jones is clearly the favourite, but he still needs 2. Can Bingham recapture some of the inspiration we saw at the back end of his match with Ronnie O'Sullivan when he played quite superbly? You feel as though he's going to need something like that if he's to turn this 3-frame deficit into a victory. Kyren Wilson, of course, awaiting the winner in the title match tomorrow. Much more comfortable for him earlier, converting a 14-10 overnight lead into a 17-11 victory. Plenty left in the tank for Kyren, you would think. He's had the night off as well, of course. The shot times, certainly for Bingham,
away now, please.
significantly
on the floor.
slower than he'd normally be, and that's indicative of the kind of snooker we've seen. Attritional, stop-start, bitty, error-strewn.
Well, that is a very encouraging start on the resumption to knock this in. I think he has to be a little bit more attacking, doesn't he? Clearly, Jack Jones is, despite being a younger player, a lot younger, you know, he's happy to play it in his own way and try and be a hard man to shift off the table, and maybe the only way to shift people is to just outscore them.
Yeah.
Which people have been doing to Jack Jones all season, but not in these long matches. Clearly the long matches, they play to his strength.
Nine.
In the 11 frames played today, Stuart Bingham has made just 1 break of over 50. That was the century at the end of this morning's session. That's been his problem. It's not been a lack of opportunities, it's been staying in for long enough to win frames.
16.
In one visit. Everything has been a grind, a struggle really, aside from that second century of the match for him.
$17.
Yes, he couldn't screw up the correct side of the blue in case he hit the red he was next to on the shot 2 shots back. Now he's on a red and he's quite a long way away from it. Just push the black a little close to the cushion. And he has to force it to an extent, not very hard, but he has to hit it with some pace to get out to roughly where that circle is.
Stuart Bingham.
Yet another black miss.
23.
A few of those today.
I think he hit them right, they definitely go in, but he was quite a way off with it.
One. Eight. Nine. Sixteen. Seventeen.
Yes, it's almost better from the other side of the table. As you can see, into this left corner, very little, if anything, actually goes. It must be over the other side.
$20.
That red we've just showed you, I mean, obviously he can't pot it here, but when he does pot it, it will unlock a couple of other reds. So that's a bit further down the line.
$21.
Very well cued. That was missable under pressure. And that pressure is only going to rise with Jones getting ever nearer to a place in the world final. What a story it would be. One round of 16 all season. Since his performances caught the eye here last year when he made quarterfinals on debut as a qualifier.
28. 29.
It looks absolutely perfect, doesn't it, to get onto the reds into the same pocket as the black.
.36. .37.
The side issue at stake, of course, this evening is that whoever wins this match will be in the top 16.
Yeah, I mean, should that person be Jack, he would be one of the youngest players in there, wouldn't he? Probably second only to
43.
Luca Marcel. So many players, 40 plus in the 16. Not here yet, though, of course. He's still got this match to win, although the chance he was left, he's taken advantage of very well. And, of course, the mantra was for Stuart Bingham, keep him on 15 frames. Well, it looks like that's not going to last. Always felt that would go in off the jaw of the pocket. Played slowly like that.
49.
But there is still more to do. It's a question of whether the two reds in the middle of the table that will remain after this one's potted go anywhere or have to be just nudged from the black. Or even can he do it here? No, it's straight. Can't do anything with this.
50.
Don't know if he's got the, maybe the right hand red would go to the right middle from just about where he's queuing, yeah. Well, that would do, of course. Well, he didn't want to take the risk, and that's a much better shot in the end, deciding to go into the two. I thought he could have played on one, but that was a calculated risk which paid off.
.58.
Stuart Bingham fearing the worst. Jones is looking for one more red to move to within one frame of the final.
.62. .63.
And he's taken these very nicely. The cannon just now to release the two reds with key. Bingham had the chance, of course. He missed a black into this corner pocket, trying to force it in. And Jones continues to look cucumber cool. He's not scored heavily in this match. He's not played his best snooker, but what he has shown is, yet again, a rock-solid temperament.
Jack Jones, 70.
Stuart Bingham's coming back. 47 the difference, 35 on. So 3 snookers to tie.
Well, that's one way to stop any fight back. Put the man who needs snookers in a snooker. I think if this doesn't hit, he'll be setting them up again. No, good shot. Again, I think a little bit like earlier on when he did the same thing, Bingham. Just he's got an interest in where the balls are, you know, the yellow and pink, they're so close together, it's a good target to get behind. Black and the blue are also pretty good. It's a pretty desperate situation for Bingham, but he'll keep plugging away, he'll keep fighting on in the hope that he can conjure a miracle or two here. 3 snookers required. This is the black he missed when he had the first shout, overcut it. Cue ball's close. Stuart Bingham concedes. A break of 70 from Jack Jones has put him on the cusp of the World Championship final. He leads 16-12.
Thank you. The 29th frame. Jack Jones to break.
Jack Jones has shown almost no signs of nerves throughout this run to the semi-finals. Now he's on the cusp of the final. Is it going to dawn on him? Is it going to affect him? Is he going to have trouble getting over the line? That's what Bingham's got to hope is the case. And he too has to raise his game dramatically to have any sort of chance of turning this precarious situation around. 4 down with 5 to play.
Well, he was hoping for good luck there. He didn't really have much of an idea where that cue ball was going to end up. And he didn't get it.
Pink ball. Stuart Bingham
It's
won.
not a particularly good shot either. As I say, he looks a little bit disconsolate, doesn't he, Bingham? But he won't give up. I mean, he really won't. I'll say that. And obviously, he's extremely disappointed the way things have gone.
That just about sums up Stuart Bingham's evening. That was some plant.
Brown ball.
Just playing a tuck in behind the brown.
Jack Jones won.
The positives for Bingham are that he's proved that his game is intact, and he's had 2 very quiet seasons. Maybe there was a feeling that his career was beginning to wind down. He scotched those suggestions with the quality of the snooker he's played to get to this semi-final. Of course, he experimented with glasses, contact lenses earlier in the season, which he then abandoned and started to play better. He's proved that he's still capable of playing at a very high level, high enough to be one of the standout players of the season in Ronnie O'Sullivan over 25 frames, one of the toughest assignments in the sport. But for whatever reason, in the semi-final, it's not happened for him. Not since that very promising start when he led 3-0, nearly 4-0. And had he won that 4th frame, when he missed the blue, who knows how the rest of that session would have panned out, and how it would have altered the course of the entire match, because at that stage Jones was really struggling to settle in his first world semi-final.
Yeah. Oh, you mean as in double hitting? No, it looked fine to me. I have no doubt.
I don't know what that was about, that little discussion there. We didn't get to see a replay, unfortunately, to find out what it was he was querying. Well, we're seeing a replay of the next shot, but it was the previous shot that was Stuart was querying.
I can only assume he was just double-checking that there was no push involved from Jones as he played up to the balk area.
Well, no, that's a full ball contact on the red. That's the only ball he was trying to avoid. Now then, it's a point of no return, isn't it, now for Bingham? He's sitting in his chair, and who knows if he'll come back to the table.
One.
Well, if the magnitude of what Jack Jones is very close to achieving is to dawn on him in a negative way, it's got to happen pretty quickly from Stuart Bingham's point of view. Just seems so totally unfazed by the gravity of the situation as he's moved through the draw. Unlike Stuart Bingham's pink earlier today, that one has reached the pocket, but no real position to go with it.
7. Jack Jones, 7.
Wasn't the most adventurous shot ever, was it?
Not for the first time this evening. It's something of a waiting game to see how this frame unfolds. That's something that Bingham has been adept at this evening, laying snookers. He's been doing it on a regular basis. What he hasn't done nearly enough of is score, which is very unlike him. Can only guess at the tension among the Jones family right now. His mum Debbie, of course, struggles at the best of times to watch him live or even on TV. Goodness knows how she's going to feel with her son a frame away from the World Championship final. Jack has got 8 brothers and a sister. His dad Colin has travelled the world following his career. What a night it could be for them. One thing Bingham certainly hasn't done is drop his head. He's still giving it absolutely everything in the hope that something is going to happen for him, that he can flick that switch, find some inspiration. Just as he did against O'Sullivan. Very different kind of match, of course. Very different pace.
It's kind of lucky it hit the yellow there, because that cue ball was racing a little bit back down. Would have come down the left side, possibly leaving a red on.
Well, at this stage of the game, Bingham has got to try and make something happen, try and change the dynamic in this match. It's been played on Jack Jones' terms for the lion's share ever since Jones got himself out of an early hole to share the first session and then the second. Made something of a move this afternoon at the end of the morning session in taking 5 of the 7 frames played. And he's been able to maintain that advantage, indeed build on it, to get him within 1 frame. And he's in. Albeit that cue ball isn't great.
Has he gone far enough? I think he has, to pot that red. So,
6.
well, it's early, but you know, this is another opportunity, isn't it, to put away this match. And it's one of these things. Yes, he's got a 4-frame buffer, but you sometimes have to do it while the chance is there. Because if it got interesting and Bingham won a couple, then all of a sudden he might have missed the boat. And a lot of great champions here have been good at killing off matches. He is not a great champion yet, but who knows what awaits him. I know one thing, he's got a game that's geared up to long matches and attritional play. He concentrates hard for long periods. All the things that are difficult to do. Seems to have the resilience. Does he have the scoring power? Well, might have to raise that a bit.
13.
His highest break of the entire match remains 72. Made a 70 to go to within 1 frame of victory. Bingham helpless in his chair, hoping for another opportunity to prolong his stay in this year's World Championship.
There's a serious chance now, isn't it? And yeah, what a moment it would be for Jack Jones. You know, a player who, barring last year when he did so well getting to the quarterfinals, wins against Eckardt and Neal Robertson, no less.
37.
And that was a great effort. And this year, goodness, he's achieving loads more. In the meantime, I mean, he's done nothing all season, actually. Absolutely nothing. But this has been outstanding. He's a tough match player. Typically tough Welsh match player. You know, I think of past players, Terry Griffiths, as hard as nails, great man, great player. Doug Mountjoy, all these very proud Welshmen. Of course, you've got your Matthew Stevens and your Mark Williams, who are still playing, and great Ray Reardon. But there's something about him, he's more in the Mountjoy mould, I think.
A little bit of a tester here with the rest from mid-range. Always missed it. That wasn't a clean strike. So Stuart Bingham does win a reprieve. 51 points the lead.
Yeah, I'm just looking if that red on the left there, was it potable to the left middle? And that's why he was just peeking across that there. Well, that was nowhere near. Straight away you knew he'd missed that. I don't think the red will go to the middle, otherwise Stuart would have played it. And if it doesn't, it gives almost license for the possibility of a double. Does it go? That's very tight. I mean, if it doesn't, well, I don't know. I think that might go. So he can't play the double in case it goes. He doesn't want to play it himself. Just doesn't want Stuart to play it.
There's nothing quite like the Crucible. Steeped in history. Guaranteed drama every year.
Oh, goodness me, he hit that dreadfully. What did he do? I don't know what he was even playing. I think maybe the first red is when he tried to pop, but he completely butchered it.
It may be that the fight has finally gone out of Stuart Bingham. It's been a very frustrating day for him.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. At last, I think that is the case.
Oh, but maybe Jones is beginning to feel just a few butterflies in the stomach inside of victory. That was a red you expected him to get. So, a last hurrah for Bingham, or can he turn this into something frame winning?
Well, the brown is the shot, really, and the point is, if he misses it, then sure, it must be curtains if he misses this. But he has to play the brown. In his heart, he knows it's the only shot he can play, but he knows it is the end if it stays out. He's going to play it. All credit for playing the correct shot. To be honest with you, he didn't even look like he was aiming properly there. He's gone, I'm afraid. The way he approached that shot,
right in this area. Who is it?
he knows he had to play it.
Are you fine? Are you happy to leave, or are you all right, sir? Yeah, you are. I think one more sound, I will ask you to leave.
Oh goodness! Well, I'll tell you, Jack Jones needs to concentrate here. I don't know what Marcel's getting involved with this for.
Who was it who made the sound?
Can't we just get on with the game, please? This is the biggest moment of Jack Jones' life.
Gotta be quiet, please.
I don't see much wrong in the crowd.
I do apologize if it wasn't you.
Well, what a moment for Jack Jones. He missed a red just now, and maybe for the first time in this tournament, showing some nerves, entirely understandable nerves, on the cusp of the greatest win of his life. Already 50 in front. What a chance he's got here. That red has only just dropped. He's definitely feeling it. He can smile now. He wouldn't have been smiling had this stayed above ground. And it very nearly did. It's been an epic session, 3 hours and counting. But in truth, Stuart Bingham has never seriously threatened to close the gap and turn this match his way. He just hasn't been able to score nearly often enough, and it's been one of his great strong suits down the years, of course, closing in on 600 career centuries. He's made 2 in this match, but very little else. And there goes the red that Jack Jones needed, that barring snookers will take him into the title match. Wales has always been one of snooker's great powerhouses. Ray Reardon, champion in '78. Griffiths the following year as qualifier. 3 times Mark Williams has lifted the trophy. And Doug Mountjoy and Matthew Stevens have contested finals. Jack Jones is about to join that list. A chance to play for the biggest prize in the sport. The game's up for Bingham. He's had a great tournament. He'll look back on a fantastic win, in particular over O'Sullivan. But he's run out of gas in the semi-final, and Jack Jones thoroughly deserves his victory.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jack Jones is the Iron Man, I think. That's what his nickname should be, something like that, because he's not been making big breaks, but his mental fortitude is up there with the best, I think. There's something about him. You know, he's absolute nails out there.
30.
He's got a strong belief. And he's in a World Championship final as a qualifier.
31.
Lowly ranked. And if he took his points off from last year's quarter-final and this year, I don't know where he'd be. I think he'd probably be off the tour. But you can't, because this is the biggest tournament in the world, and he loves it. And what a player he is. And he will be in the top 16 next season. That man would have been had he won. So Jack Jones, all credit. And I think he'll acquit himself well in the final.
Stuart Bingham will obviously be desperately disappointed that he couldn't produce the snooker of which he's capable in this semi-final, but there are definitely positives that he can take from the tournament he's had. He'd rather disappeared off the radar before this World Championship. He's shown that he can still be a force to be reckoned with, as he proved against O'Sullivan.
43.
But this is Jack Jones' night, and how must he be feeling now? Not a trace of emotion on his face. I wonder if that'll change when they shake hands. But of course, the biggest job of all is still to come over the next 2 days.
47. 52.
150 to 1 outsider coming in, the world number 44.
58.
Finishing with a flourish. What a night in the life of Jack Jones. The Welshman has defeated Stuart Bingham to book his place in a first World Championship final. A fabulous achievement. Bingham tried his hardest, but he just couldn't produce the snooker he needed to get the better of this rock-solid Welshman. Wonderful temperament. He'll play Kyren Wilson for the title. He wins 17-12.